Ooh, spooky bats and spooky people out there. Back to reality. Yeah, so been thinking a lot lately. A lot going on. People, we gotta hold certain groups accountable, individuals accountable, law enforcement, you know. I would even humble myself today as a man, as a parent, as an American, for what I believe in. That I've really been thinking a lot lately, watching my kids grow up and seeing things in this world, the influences, the things that want to grasp them at times or take hold of them, even, and I know a lot of parents that, I don't know the words for it, but being a parent, it's part of being an American. I mean, we're raising these kids in this world, and we're supposed to teach them values and respect and loyalty and love and honor and it sounds kind of foolish to even say these things to some people, but for some people who understand these things, probably not foolish at all. Today I want to tell anyone out there that has kids, you have to be responsible for those kids. And I'm not saying that lightly because I'm not perfect by far, but I realize when I'm looking around and I see all these things going on, it's my job to make sure my kid has respect for people, has respect for those who respect him, and also to stand up for himself, of course. But I really realize that for those of us who are parents, and some people aren't parents, and maybe there can be an influence towards a kid or something, or their friends' kids. I mean, this can go as far as that, But I notice a lot of parents nowadays, they just think that they throw their kid out there in the world, in the school, and the school's supposed to teach them everything, and the school's supposed to bring them up, and the school ain't showing nobody shit, man. I mean, they do. They teach your kid a little bit, but it's not to be an actual part of society. I don't believe so. I personally, and I'm not down on them. I mean, the teachers are doing their job, what they're told to do, and most of the time, you know. But I think as a parents, we need to start learning if we're gonna change things in society, like we're talking about holding cops accountable and all this stuff. Like, well, we need to raise our kids right too. We need to teach our kids boundaries. We need to teach them rules. I'm a little bit more of a discipliner than my wife, than most of the moms, you know what I mean? I have a couple kids, so I know I'm more of a discipliner with my kids, As a dad I am, and maybe not as other dads will even, but I don't feel anything that I can tell them is a waste of my voice or my time. Anything I can show them is not a waste of my voice or my time. Because as we're all grouping together saying we want change, how do we really get change? Where do we start? And yeah, we gotta hold people accountable. We gotta hold ourselves accountable to the commitments that we've caused in our circles. Just like my kids, they I have only a few friends, but guess what? My kids respect those friends, and they respect what the values of my friends, because those are the friends I choose to have and the values I choose to share. I just don't have friends to have friends, because then I'd be teaching my kids, yeah, it's all right. You can have anybody as your friend, Yeah, because I don't need to use nobody either, though, for anything. That's another point. I don't need anybody. Now, don't get me wrong. It's nice to have friends, but I mean, I'm not gonna lose my values over that, over a friendship. I mean, I don't mind being anybody's friend. I don't mind helping anybody out. I don't, and that's something. See, these are things I'm teaching my kid, though. My kid's watching me. All my kids are watching me, even the ones that I'm not around all the time. They're watching me, and they're learning from me. That's a lot to consume, man. That's a lot today. And I was just thinking about this because we're crying and we're saying this, and we're all wanting this and that, and what are we doing though with what we have? What are we doing with our talents and our ability and our time and our voices with those in our circle. Like some people might not have kids, it might be an uncle and aunt or a friend of someone who has kids, and there's a duty there, I believe. Like when my friend came to visit, my kids respect him, they listen to him. I know that he's sharing good things with them, so they ask about him now. They wonder, where's he at, how's he doing, is he still, because see, they're watching, the kids are watching, that's why they're asking questions, because they're watching us. So I want people to get that in their heads, that this, we talk shit about the younger generations. Well, what are we doing to console them and guide them? And mentoring is no longer a thing in the world. You know what a mentor to a kid is nowadays? It's a phone. It's a phone. They can go on there and find anything they need. You don't even need a parent most of the time. They go on a phone and find a video about it, or some friends to talk about it, or some people to talk, or some group. But see, that's where we're losing people. And I found this to be a very valid point today. And I hope someone hears this. I hope someone's listening, because I'm listening to myself, because I'm not perfect with what I'm talking about, but I'm working on these things. And if anybody is a friend of mine or listens to me, I want them to know that, because I care enough to be honest about this. I'm not perfect. There's no way I could be perfect. I don't think too many people could be close to perfect in this world. This world is screwed up. It's screwed up. It pretty much is. But today, if we stand up, start taking control of the situations that were handed to us. It's so funny, because I don't like religion. I'm a believer in a higher power of God that I believe. I don't even like using that word higher power of God, because there's something, a creator that's bigger than us, and I don't know the true name of it. So even the word Christian, I don't even like using anymore, because I'm not gonna limit myself to one body of people who are putting these limitations on me, with a source that has so much power. That's crazy, like, to even think that I would do that today. But some of the things that, if you don't need to be religious, but if you read the books, John, Matt, whatever they are, in the Bible, you could hear some things in the things that Jesus said. Okay, so maybe Jesus was his name. I don't know. See, here we go. I can forget about that. I dare anybody to go inside there and read some of the things that he wrote. Because you know what also I've learned from reading that is that the Christians of today, the religious people of today, they don't read that. They don't follow what he said. But he told us that each of us was given certain talents and stuff. And this has got nothing to do with religion. It's got to do with knowledge, power. Because if you look at that form of what Jesus was, he was an activist like me. He was a man who wanted justice for society and for people that cared about justice and liberty. So let's forget about the religious end of it. Let's look at the proper end of it. We can learn from many things, is what I'm trying to make a point. And then we take these things and we need to show others these things. We need to help each other. We need to mentor each other. Because if we don't, we're going to lose to society, to the world, and to all the things and all of those things out there that seem indulging to the soul.